Hello ratbags, it's Jade Plays Games. Welcome to the Access Show. Every day I give you information about upcoming games, early access information and updates for your favourite stuff going on. We're taking a look at Battle Royale. I know, Battle Royale, aren't you just getting a bit sick of it? But of course it's the big hitters. Call of Duty Blackout is having their beta for the first time. You're going to be able to try the Battle Royale on September the 10th. And Battlefield 5 announced a bunch of information, including the name of their Battle Royale, which is going to be called Firestorm. We're going through every bit of information we know about both of their modes, vehicles, how big the map is, how many players are going to be on it. We're going to be talking about character customization, limited. Battlefield obviously has been delayed and we're not going to get the full Battle Royale experience at launch. It's going to be coming sometime after, so there is a little bit less information about that mode, but we have got loads of Call of Duty information. So I'm going to be going through both of them, going to be comparing a little bit, seeing which one might be a bit more successful. I'm not here really to bash either game. It's not a competition to see which one's your favourite. It's clearly just about talking about the Battle Royales. So come with me, it's the Access Show, let's go. Okay, to be clear, I'm not going to start comparing Battlefield 5 to Call of Duty in any way, shape or form other than the context of the Battle Royale modes. That debate is for a long discussion and I'm just not really that interested. You either like your Call of Duty games, you either like your Battlefield games, maybe you like both, maybe you don't like either. What I do want to talk about is both of their Battle Royale modes. That's probably the most interesting thing about both these games to me, which is quite sad really. It's got to that stage. I used to love Call of Duty and I've grown to love Battlefield over the last few years, but they just don't hold any attention for me anymore. So the idea of them adding Battle Royales, which I've got into in the last 18 months as well, that sounded pretty good. I'm intrigued to see what they could both come up with. They're both taking very different looks at it, very different views, and this is what this video is going to be discussing, comparing, giving you guys the heads up. So, what do we know? Well, Call of Duty has one up on the Battlefield already. It's going to support up to 80 players and apparently in testing they've had it up way past that, up to 100 players even. Battlefield is only going to be squads of 16 players, or squads of 4 I should say, up to 16 squads, so giving a total of 64 players only. Nothing is really changing in Battlefield. That is the cap for some of their game modes, is 64 players. So it's a bit intriguing that the game that supposedly can support bigger maps and bigger players can't actually get above what Black Ops is going to be doing. Battlefield 5 is only going to be squad based. It's not going to be singles or duos, where Call of Duty has said you can do it single, duos or in squad based combat. How that'll actually work, I'm not too sure. Maybe they're just going to be adding a whole mosh pit of you going to go against everyone else on the map. And if you're in a squad, you're in the squad. If you're not, you're not. If you're not a huge fan of Battle Royales, that's not unheard of. Lots of people, lots of streamers make their content based on 1 versus squads. My son does it on a regular. He goes up against squads of 4 just to improve his gameplay and make him a better player. They both have the Ring of Fire or the Ring of Doom. Call of Duty's is a black shroudy sort of mist, and Battlefield has got this Ring of Fire. I quite like the Battlefield, I'm not going to lie. It looks absolutely phenomenal from the trailer. We're going to see our first glimpses of the version on COD first. It's coming in the open beta starting on 10th September. And Call of Duty will launch with its Battle Royale mode when it launches in October. Of course, Battlefield won't be launching now until the 20th November, a whole month's delay, and on top of that, they're not going to be launching with co-op or this Battle Royale mode. Both them brand new modes, or I should say brand new, but both modes are coming at some point after launch. So it really does feel like, again, COD's got a one up on Battlefield in having the content there on day one, rather than this service or these things that are going to be coming afterwards. So what is Battlefield going to be beating COD on? Well, it's going to definitely be beating it on the destructibility as always, and maybe the choice of vehicles. Both versions will have vehicles in the game. COD has now confirmed it's going to have a variety of vehicles like ATVs, basically a dump truck. They're also going to have a heli, so you can have 4 players into a small heli. Battlefield is going to have all of the usual vehicles you'd expect. Expect to see tanks, expect to see infantry vehicles, maybe bikes, etc, etc. But the sheer fact that you'll be able to run around in a tank in Battlefield really makes me feel excited about playing that version with them types of vehicles, rather than just running around on small ATV kind of sort of mopeds or quad bikes. Although bear in mind of course that if there is a helicopter, it does look like you're going to be able to shoot out the sides, or players will be obviously, so that is going to be a way to weaponise some of these vehicles or use them to full effect. COD is adding basically a motorboat to the game as well, so it's going to have versions get across the water. Both maps are going to be extremely large. COD is knuckling down on presenting the history of COD in this map. It's going to have locations from some of our favourite maps. There's talk of Nuketown being an island on its own. So in the map it will be the whole Nuketown map that you've come to know and love. That will be transported wholesale into the brand new Battle Royale map on COD. No real news or info about Battlefield's map, exactly where it's going to take place, or if it's going to be a couple maps. Maybe it's going to be just the usual map and it's just going to shrink. We don't definitely know if it's a customizable one, other than knowing that it's the biggest map they've ever made, supposedly. Now, because COD has launching a little bit earlier, it's going to have a little bit more information. So, of course, we know now there's going to be up to 20 characters that you can choose as skins, and they're going to be adding a lot more. Another huge difference is that COD is going to have the zombies running around. Yes, they may be slightly different from the ones you normally find, but there are going to be roaming bands of zombies, or zombies in specific areas of the map. This is probably going to be a good way to get action going. I really think Fortnite needs to do this. I've said this for a while now. I don't understand why they don't have some limited time events where there are some zombies in the maps. I think that would create something pretty unique. Maybe you can only get certain weapons or certain items from the zombies, and so it make players have to deal with two threats, not just other players. I really like this idea from Call of Duty. It's definitely one of the better ones they've come out with, looking into all the new stuff. It's been confirmed that you will be able to receive special items from these zombies like ray gun or a monkey bomb. Of course, on the flip side of that, if we're comparing these games to Fortnite, then Battlefield may have the upper hand in terms of building. Yes, I know we're not going to be building massive bases or buildings in Battlefield, but the fortification system could be really interesting if it's implemented in the Battle Royale mode. Imagine being able to put up some quick defences of barbed wire or some sandbags to give you the advantage if you're in open territory. I think that could be a really good mechanic, and it's definitely the closest we're going to get to Fortnite's building system, which a lot of people like, but some people really don't. COD's not going to offer any third person perspective, it's only going to be first person, of course, and I do believe that's the same for Battlefield. One way again COD may be winning the war in the terms of Battle Royales is the fact that you may be able to play it in split screen. They are currently working on it now, and Treyarch haven't promised it for definite, but it's something they're leaning towards at launch, that you'll be able to play co-oply on these Battle Royale game modes too. COD has detailed exactly how it's going to work with healing. You're going to have up to 150 healing level, just like the multiplayer in Black Ops 4, but there are also going to be additional healing items that you can take, so various things like you'd expect, shield potions in Fortnite. There's going to be some sort of variant in the Blackout. There are other consumables as well, like Stimulant, which increases your max health by 100% points, and Consumer, which reduces the time it takes to use items or heal or revive teammates by 20%. COD have been on the PR bandwagon, giving these interviews to Game Informer mostly, but they have been sending cryptic DM messages to certain YouTubers on COD, and they're piecing together this little map. There are of course going to be a bunch of brand new locations. It's not just going to be lifting everything from the last few Call of Duty games you played, or the best ones. There are going to be brand new ones as well, as you can see from lots of these screenshots that have appeared as well. It's hard not to get carried away with the hype train that Call of Duty is definitely winning in terms of Battle Royale. Take away everything else. I'm not talking about multiplayer in general, I'm not talking about general gameplay, single player, story player, whatever you want to call it. But in the pure confines of talking about Battle Royale, they do have the upper hand. They are launching first, and they're obviously getting geared up towards that now. They're going to be trying it out in the beta first. So it's not really Battlefield's fault. However, Battlefield was meant to only come out a few weeks after Call of Duty, and so we should have probably got a lot of the information about the Battle Royale modes. It's also Battlefield's maybe negative that they're not launching the game with a good 2 modes. Like I said earlier, I think it's a bit of a shame they just can't seem to have pulled it together. I think it makes it more robust features, and it's certainly going to give games like Red Dead Redemption and Call of Duty a little bit more run for its money if it's got all its features at launch, rather than this, oh yeah, we're gonna give you what you want, but it's going to be at some point afterwards. Both developers admitted that they have put both these game modes in after development really started to take hold. They're literally just chucking this on because it's what the player base supposedly wants. However you feel about Battle Royale games, like I've said many times before, they do seem to be here to stay. You can't shake away the success of Fortnite and PUBG and just say we're done with it now. These big developers are kind of what I've been looking forward to seeing, what someone really could go mad with a Battle Royale game. Not to say that, you know, PUBG or Fortnite aren't big developers, particularly Fortnite with its runaway success and its history of making games and the company that Epic is. But this is a huge franchise. COD is a massive franchise. So I am really interested to see it. It's probably my only reason I want to play COD this year. I didn't even bother playing the beta recently. I won't be picking it up either. The only time I will be picking it up is on release day so I can try the Battle Royale out for myself. Now that may be doing me a disservice because I probably could do with getting used to some of the characters, because it is a little bit more like Overwatch in terms of the specialties and the special classes and the maneuvers that they have now. But I am just wanting to play the Battle Royale mode. I just want to play it for myself and see what it's like running around in some of these old locations, the new ones, with these features in vehicles for the first time. I can remember actually being able to drive like a normal vehicle in a COD game too. It's going to be really interesting. I can't wait to try this out. Battlefield is definitely my game of choice though, out of both of them. If they both launched at the same day, I would love to get my hands on Battlefield first, but Battlefield really has let the ball slip in not launching, delaying the game, and now also obviously not intending to put the Battle Royale mode in there at launch either. I want you guys to let me know what you think about both modes. Are they going to be successful? Is it overkill? Do we need these in our favourite games? Maybe we do, because literally both franchises have become just a little bit stale. So there we go. What do you guys think about that? Like I said, I'm not here to debate which game's better. I just strictly want to see what your thoughts are about both Battle Royale games and giving you the information about both of them. Let me know in the comment section as ever. I really am looking forward to trying Battlefield. That's probably the one I want to play the most, but I'm intrigued about what Call of Duty can do with a Battle Royale mode. So make sure you've liked this video. Don't forget, every day an access show, and I'll see you rat bags for another one very soon.